All right, this is Ubaid on behalf of B Electronics, and in this video, we'll be talking about index numbers. All right, now when it comes to index numbers, and let me write this down over here. So you have index numbers. Okay, they're used as a substitute for price levels. And the reason why they're used as substitute for price levels is because in a given economy, okay, you don't factor in two or three goods and services. Okay, you have to factor in the price level of thousands, if not millions, of goods and services. All right, so here, this is a substitute. So the sub, okay, for price levels. And the reason why you sub in index numbers for price levels is to figure out the inflation rate. Hence, the index number is used by economists to figure out the inflation rate, to make the calculation easy, convenient, and free of errors and omissions. Okay, so you have inflation rate. All right, so let's take an example. All right, let's suppose, okay, in year one, okay, the price of goods, okay, let's say the price of good A, okay, is $20, and the quantity of good A in year one is 5. All right, now price of good B, okay, let's say this is P, 1B, price of good B is equal to $30 or 35. Okay, and the quantity of good B, this is 1D. Okay, so good B, this is 2. All right, now for year one, if you want to figure out, okay, your index number, what you will need to do is, first of all, figure out the price levels. Okay, so the total price level. All right, so total price level over here, this is 100. And this one over here, this will be 70. Okay, so your total price level over here, this will be 170. Okay, so this is your total price level. Now that you have the price level, what you want to do is figure out the price level of the second period, okay, or the second year that you want to compare. Okay, so let's assume that the price level of the second period or the second year is 200. Okay, and assume that this is your base period. This is your base period over here. And this is the specific period that you want to compare when it comes to the inflation rate. So you want to figure out the inflation rate for this year. Okay, specific year or specific period. So what you want to do now is you want to go ahead, okay, you want to go ahead and divide these two over here. So what you want to do is go ahead and say 200 divided by 170. Multiplied by 100. Okay, so this is 200 divided by 170. Okay, multiplied by 100. So that's a total of 117.65. Okay, this is 117.65%. So the percentage change in the price level will be 17.65 because the base year will have 100%. So 117.65 minus the base year percentage, this will be 17.65. This will be a percentage change. Okay, and for calculation purposes, we can use 1.18. Okay, this divided by 100. So we'll take out the 100 over here. So for calculation purposes, we can use, so this is percentage change. This is percentage change in the price level. All right. Now, for calculation purposes, we can use, okay, over here, the value is 1.176, so it will be 1.18 approximately. Okay, so 1.18. Okay, for the index number. All right. This is technically your index number over here. Okay, 117.65. But for calculation purposes, we'll use 1.18. All right, so now that we have this amount over here, what you want to do is go ahead and figure out the index number for 2 years. Okay, so over here, this is 117.65. All right, and over here, this will be 100% for calculation purposes because the index number of the base year will always be 100. Okay, so this is 100. All right, now if you want to figure out the inflation rate of year two compared to year one, what you want to do is go ahead and work out some calculations. Okay, all right, so in this case, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and subtract the two index numbers. So let's say this is index number one, 117.65, and this is index number two. Okay, so 117.65 minus 100 for the base year or the previous year. Okay, so in that case, this gives us 17.65. Okay, divide by this number over here for the base year, so divide by 100. Okay, and multiply this by 100%. Okay, and this will give you your inflation rate for year two, which is 17.65. So the inflation rate, given the index numbers, the inflation rate over here, this is 17.65%. All right, so that's it for this video. On behalf of B Electronics, this is Ubaid. Have yourself a great day.